Hello, Magic players. Welcome you to episode number 51 of the Brewers Tavern. Charles, good to have you here. How are you doing
Be
today?
here. Really good. Excited about episode 51. What do you have in store today?
The deck.
Oh,
No,
okay.
actually, it is. To be honest, we discuss sometimes a little bit before we start recording, and it is kind of the deck with a different win con, with a lot of legends cards. So it is the same but different. I hope this
Okay.
is what it suits the best.
Actually, I think it's a really good idea because for anyone who thinks that you could take the deck, take 5 good cards out, put 5 like average cards, we'll see how it plays really like the deck, and I think that that's a good thing to get on
Yeah.
video just to see.
In my opinion, I mean, you can prove me wrong, but in my personal opinion, every deck which runs 5 counter spells, so 4 counter spell plus a mana drain, 4 swords, 4 disenchant, is the deck.
Well, we had an episode where we had the deck on, right?
Yeah.
And let's see how this plays compared to that. I think it's going to play very similarly.
I think so too.
But we'll take a look. I'm going to play. We don't repeat decks, but in episode 25, I played my favorite version of Paul De Silva's Good Stuff deck. And one of the things, and I'll talk about the deck tech, but he wanted to get more away from white and more towards green because of Gloom. And I said I was going to play his updated version, and today I'm going to give it a shot against the deck light that you're playing today. So
That's
let's
cool.
go to the deck and let's take a look at what we have today.
Exactly. Let's move on to the deck lists. As usual, I always say this. As usual, we start with my deck list first, and then we move on to yours. Hope that is fine.
Sounds good.
Perfect. So here we are. This is my deck list. As I said, it's comparable, or it's close to what the deck is. You have 2 books. You have the counter spells, the swords, the disenchants. Where are the disenchants? Ah, there, on the picture. Sorry. Yeah, but I tried to make it a little bit different. I wanted to win with Rubinia Soul Singer, Preachers, Diamond Valley style. I have a lot of new cards in here. I promised Charles to tell everybody about every new card I play. So we start in the sideboard. We start with Nebuchadnezzar. I played this in one episode, and I'm really in love with that card because this guy is basically like you activate him once in the control list, and after that it's a pointed discard. He's really, really nice. I can just recommend him if you play a blue-black control shell. Nebuchadnezzar is a super, super nice card. Then I have added a Rasputin Dreamweaver. I added Rasputin because he is card draw as well. He enters with 7 counters. You may remove a counter to prevent 1 damage to Rasputin. Oh, sorry, he's not card draw. He prevents damage or adds 1 colorless to the mana pool, so he's rammed. And you can play this ability whenever you want as an interrupt. And during your upkeep, if Rasputin started the turn untapped, you may not have, you may put counters back on him. The thing is, I also play a Caracas in the main board, so actually he's one of the best blockers ever existing because you block, then you can remove counters, and then you can bounce him and just replace him. What also a new Legends card is Dakon Blackblade. Was the name Dakon Blackblade? I hope so. It's for sure Dakon, but for unsure Blackblade, he is a 6 mana card. He's XX, but X is equal the number of lands you control. So he is as huge as the lands you control, which is kind of cool. So when you play him without Mox mana, he's at least a 6/6, which you can also bounce with the Caracas. And the last Legends cards I run is Rubinia Soul Singer. She's kind of key in that deck because I also have 1 Diamond Valley. So the plan is with her, control the opponent's creatures, sack them to Diamond Valley. Because for 5 mana you get a 2/3. You can tap her to gain control of target creature. Rubinia does not tap or untap this creature. If Rubinia becomes untapped, you lose control of this creature. You may choose not to untap Rubinia as normal during your untap phase. You also lose control of target creature if either Rubinia leaves play or you lose control of Rubinia. So actually, she's a preacher, but you choose the creatures. Instead, with preacher, your opponent chooses for you. The other two cards, the deck is really made to control my opponent's creatures and either win with those or sack them to Diamond Valley to buy myself time. I honestly took a big part of this list from Francesco Delfino's list from the last Fish Liver Oil Cup and modified it a little bit. Because he also ran Soul Canar, and in the sideboard he played Karma Cyclopean Tomb. I think the Soul Canar is not necessary because the mana base gets a little bit bad with him. But yeah, in the end, I decided to go with part of his list, and this is basically it. Charles, everything okay?
Yep. Just want to make sure the blinds are down, so less glare.
Okay. So we move on to your list, Charles, if that is cool for you. Tell us a little bit about your list.
Okay, sounds good. So if anyone wants to compare, you could compare this to the list I played in episode 25. That was the 2019 version of Paul Silva's Good Stuff. So as I mentioned in the intro, he wanted to get more away from white and a little bit heavier into green instead to avoid gloom problems after sideboard. And this list doesn't run the Armageddons. It's more aggressive with creatures. And I really do like it with 4 lions, 4 pixies. Then you have the Arabian creatures, the Dibs, the Ernies, and a couple Sarahs. All really super mana efficient creatures. Really aggressive. You have such a tough deck for me to play against because not only is the 4 counters, 4 swords, disenchant super against this deck, you have 6 main deck cards that can steal creatures between your 2 legends, your 2 control magics, and your 2 creatures. This is a perfect target for you to play against. It's a really solid list, but you are already sideboarded for a list like this. So I'm curious how this is going to play. Now, I don't think I would have problems with Gloom with your playing against your deck, but it's prepared for that type of deck. I have to try to be really aggressive and get ahead of you, and we'll have to see what happens. I love the sideboard. The sideboard has 2 concording crossroads if your opponent's not playing creatures, which, although you have some creatures, they may come in. You'll have to wait and see. Whirling Dervish is such a cool card that it can't die to the Abyss. So and Crossroads can kill the Abyss. So those are great for that. And Flux, Karma is an interesting one. Doesn't play Swamp, so if you're playing against a heavy Swamp, that card can just win the game right there. And the Spice card is Sleight of Mind, which could deal with a CO piece if you need to. I think the list looks really solid. I like that it's super aggressive. Obviously, Bottle is a problem, but if it happens, I could go up to 4 disenchants post board, and I do have Pixies, Factories, and Sarahs, even if Bottle's on board, and Lions. So I think you definitely have the edge. I have something that people say, it's not the deck because you have Diamond Valley and a few Legends cards. I think it's going to play very similar to the deck, and I'm glad we'll be able to show how that will work. And I'd say let's go to the Brewers Tavern and let's see if I can win a few games.
Yeah, you will win for sure a few games because you're super aggressive and I'm more the control deck. So yeah, I really need I can't counter every creature, and I think a fast lion into a fast pixie is really strong against me.
Well, the last thing I'll say about this is, and maybe the viewers can have an opinion. If you have a deck like this is a perfect example. If you have a deck like this, you say to your friends, look, I have 4 slots for some number of disenchants or swords. What's the right number? Like in a list like this. Paul ran, this is exactly Paul's 2020 deck, except Paul ran 4 disenchants and 0 swords in the main and put the 4 swords in the sideboard. I went 2 and 2. I'm not actually sure what the right number is. My gut is that probably all 4 disenchants and 0 swords is probably not ideal. Just because of Demonic Tutor, that you could be in a position where you need to remove a creature, say Shazam, your Psy Blast aren't going to help. And maybe having 1 swords in the deck, especially with a tutor, makes sense. But is Paul right? Is it 4 and 0 for the main and put the swords in the sideboard? Is it 2 and 2, which is kind of split it, or is it 3 and 1? I'm really curious what the right answer is. I don't really know. But I went 2 and 2.
To be fair, I think he's right to not play the swords because they're kind of dyssynergetic with the Psyblast and aggressive plan. You give back your opponent life, which you probably don't want. But the main problem for this kind of deck is, I think, cards like Abyss, and you really want to take care of them game 1 before he brings in the Crossroads as well. So probably I would also go for this.
Maybe, I mean, in this particular match, I won't be upset that there are 2 swords in the main.
That's true.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah, in this match, 4 disenchants would have been very bad in the main.
Yeah, I think so.
We'll see. Let's go to the Brewers Tavern and see what happens.
Exactly. Let's move on to the Brewers Tavern and play some Magic. Here we are. Oh, sorry.
Even as always.
Even as always. 1 second. I start.
Oh, you're right. That die only has odd numbers.
Yeah.
Just for the Brewers Tavern.
1,
only odd numbers.
5, 3, just odd.
Oh, that's it. It only has 3 numbers.
Yeah.
And it repeats.
Let's see.
All right, 1, 2, or 3.
Number 2.
Number 1 for you. What number for me?
Number 2.
2.
I think I'm gonna try.
Give it a try.
Yeah. So I start. Pass turn.
Nice start.
That's a good one. I agree.
Pixies, 5 cards, pass turn.
Pass turn.
So she could take any creature, right?
Any creature.
Oh, it's like I did not have an answer, and now I have an answer.
Oh, that's a good one. So basically, you go to 18, you sword her, so I get 2 life, you attack me, so I stay at 20, and you go to 9. You go to 18. I go to 20.
You're 20.
Yeah.
But let me play a land second, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of 4 disenchants, that wouldn't have helped in this case.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually true.
I will play a land for turn. Go to 17, and we will play another Pixie. So I have 3 cards.
I try to play a book and pass the turn.
That's okay. That seems pretty slow.
That's true.
Draw.
Yeah.
Swing for 4.
16.
15.
Yeah.
Turn on, I have 2 cards. Pass turn.
You have 2 cards. I take your mana, I disenchant your Mox. And sorry, I tap it like this. Oh no, I can't. I leave the blue open, I tap it like this, and I balance. I have 2 cards in hand. You have 2 cards, but I only have 2 lands. And it's your turn.
Yeah, we'll swing for 2.
14.
Me too. Your turn.
Interesting. Sorry, I need to think. I play a preacher and pass the turn. Yeah.
We'll take 3. I'll side blast the preacher.
Okay.
Your turn.
Rubinia, pass turn.
Down. Down twister.
Sure.
Yeah, that balance is so nasty.
The balance was tough, yes. I agree. I had it
I know
on
that you
my
can
own.
always have it, but it still is just a 1-up, so.
Yeah, I mean,
If you don't have it, I don't see how you're winning this game.
exactly.
You're in really good shape.
I had it on my opening hand and I thought, okay, I take it.
I mean, it's a 1-up. You have to just be okay, like probably losing that game if that's the one card that you win.
Yeah, sorry. I forget that I need to hold my cards in the camera while shuffling. Because whenever I drew then the nuts, like it feels like I screwed you.
Oh man, you have the deck. You don't have to. You're gonna screw me anyway. Your turn.
No land?
I played. No, I didn't play land. Okay, yeah. Let me play one. I forgot.
Sure.
Your turn. Play first. I can't do this because like you have a. I'm just gonna take it, so I'm not doing anything. Just play
Okay,
land.
but you played the land, right?
Yeah, that's it.
I play factory. Give me a second. Do I play factory? No, actually I play an island. Pass the turn. 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 cards in hand.
Twist for 4.
You can't. I need all my cards.
I mean, this is the deck, so I'm expecting you have a counter.
I draw. Okay. Interesting. My turn?
That's your turn.
7 cards in hand. Give me a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sarah Angel. And pass the turn. 2, 4, 6, 7. 7 cards in hand. You know, Rubinia Soulsinger was one of my first. We played German Highlander back in the day, which is like Commander but without a legend. And she was one of my first cards I ever owned.
I'm gonna cast Regrow.
That's
for
fine.
any time twister.
Okay.
I'll disenchant the book.
Sure.
I'll take cast time twister.
Sure.
Okay.
And this one with Marie Curie Berit together was in my first Highlander deck. 5 color good stuff. That was cool.
A really cool card.
The good old days.
That's pretty bad when I have to time twister just to have an 8 chance. The question is, did I play a land?
I think
I think so.
I think the Tundra, but I'm unsure. It's not.
I think so.
Yeah. You want Regrowth Twister again?
No, we're not going to do that. We will, Restore Rubinia.
Said Rubinia.
You gain 3 for 17.
Do I gain 3 or 2? I think it's the power.
Is it 2? Oh, it's a 2. Okay.
Yeah.
It's 16. We will cast Time Walk.
Okay.
2 cards. Oh.
All the Rubinia's gone.
Okay. How many lands do you have?
1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 4. Yes, 4 lands.
4. Okay. Cast Balance. I have 1 card.
Sure. You have 1 card.
And you have 4 lands.
Yeah.
Discard these 3 lands. Eight.
Yeah.
No cards. Yes.
Draw. I'll play Lotus past the turn.
Be careful when you drew that, I could see it.
Oh, sorry, yeah. That's tough to win.
I mean, just double balance.
Yeah.
7, I'll swing for 8.
Yeah, so I go to 8. So I need to find something now.
Your turn. Shocked if this can be some comeback after the balance.
Sarah, pass.
You have a blocker.
Yeah.
Disenchant your book.
Yeah.
You will activate 2 factories.
Sure.
And we're going to swing with everyone.
I block the Sarah and go to 1.
Yes, sir. Wow. Do some comeback. Holy shit. I
That was
just don't even
crazy.
believe it. That's a crazy game. I mean, this deck should have lost after that bounce.
That was hard.
Another game. Another game 1?
Sure. That you
That's
also drew
not-
the swords whenever you need them was tough.
Well, I mean, my Time Twister hand, which was Desperation, you were tapped out other than an island, had 3 Moxes in it, a Swords, which I can get rid of, Balance, and a Time Walk. You couldn't have picked a better hand.
Yeah, that's true.
The 2/2 Swords to Disenchant feels good, at least in this match.
Yeah.
But maybe you're right that it should be 4-0. Good game. Brutal balances.
I will start.
Yep. We will say pile number 3.
Pile number 1. I think I mulligan it.
Wait a minute. Oh, show.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to mull this too. It's way too slow to nothing.
I mean, this hand just plays a land and says go. Land, go. No interaction, nothing.
There are so many win cons for the deck, right? I've seen Hive used, I've seen Tetris used, where both Abyss
Land's
and Moat have been
Edge,
in the deck.
Serra, Mirror Universe, Fireball, it doesn't matter.
Jiven Dragon, I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter, right?
I've seen
We'll say
one
it-
of Mamamodi.
It is cool to see. Anytime I see Legends cards being used, I do think it's cool.
Yeah.
Alright. It feels too bad to take a mulligan when your opponent does too. You both lose a card. It should be the same. Pile 2.
Pile number 1 again. I take it.
Okay, we will keep in. I'm going to put one on the bottom.
Yep.
Okay.
Pass turn.
Sure.
Okay. Draw. Preacher, pass turn.
Swords up.
Yep. Yep.
3 cards.
Oh, sorry. I strip your library, your City of Brass. Sorry. Pass the turn. Counterspell.
And pass.
Landmarks book. Pass the turn. Yeah.
Swing and pass for 15. 1 card.
Draw with the book. Play Diamond Belly. Pass the turn.
If you draw balance again, I'm going to lose, but I'm going to play into it.
7. Go to 8. Yeah.
Your turn, 1 card.
Draw with the book. Play land. And I guess I'm dead. Nothing to do here.
Wow.
Man, this one of sword was so crazy. I didn't play around swords because you do not have a lot of those. So I thought when I get the preacher out, I feel pretty solid. But no
I
chance.
couldn't, if I didn't have the sword, my whole hand I can't cast. I mean, that 1/1/1 creature. I don't have like 4 swords and 4 bolts. Should we do one more game 1
Sure.
or do the game 2s?
Yeah,
That was
we
really
can do
cool.
another game 1.
The swords are much more important than. Well, the bolt will kill me too. So, but both kind of important.
Yeah, but the book is super slow, so as long as you're super aggressive, and I'm not fine. I mean, I play 4 swords and I found 0 so far.
Still, I played the odds of the first game, which is like, what are the chances you have a 1 of balance and you had it? I only have 2 swords, so L2.
Pile number 3. I mulligan.
Yep. We'll keep.
Okay.
Two.
3, 3, 1. Lord. Yeah. Let's give it a try. I start. Pass turn. Sure.
Seven cards.
End of turn, I disenchant your mox.
Okay.
Draw, play a Black Lotus, and pass the turn.
Here, seven cards.
I draw. Draw.
Okay.
Pass.
Land for turn.
Yeah.
Cards draw.
Yeah.
Bless the Sarah. Pass turn.
Play Mox, pass the turn.
Turn. Land for turn.
Yeah.
Cards draw. And this is just a bullshit library game. Remember, it's an awful card in old school.
Sword.
22, your turn.
Play land, pass the turn.
How many cards do you have?
2.
I will play a land for turn.
Yeah.
7 cards draw. Zero.
Sword.
26, your turn.
Pass the turn.
How many cards?
2.
Play a land for turn.
Yeah.
So I will not play this land. I'll play this land for turn.
Okay.
Draw.
Mhm.
Twist the 2.
Yeah, sure. Control magic and swords.
Okay, I will get mocked. I have 6 cards. I will swing for 4.
Okay.
Pass.
Balance. 0 cards in hand, 2 lands.
2 lands. This is where do I want to be aggressive and keep the factories or not? Okay, let's go for it.
Pass the turn.
Swing for 4.
Yeah. 12.
Yes.
Play land, pass the turn.
Yeah, now I'm definitely glad. For 4.
Yeah. 8.
Pass. 1 card.
Pass the turn.
Swing for 4.
Go to 4.
Pass turn.
Drop, drop,
Sideboard.
wow. So, sideboard.
Sideboard time.
Let's see.
I mean, that's just a library. I mean, that's the card. It's not really fun.
That
If
happens.
I'm drawing 2 cards, it's like in tier 1, I'll win. and vice versa.
Let's see. Here we go. Let's shuffle that up.
Alright, let's try this one.
I start.
Yep. I've never seen some of the gold legends in your sideboard ever played. So I don't know what you brought in, but I'm definitely rooting for those cards to come in because I've never seen
Yeah,
them.
I really hope that my hands are now a little bit better and more consistent.
Pile 2.
Pile
Two or
number
three.
3.
Are you keeping?
Yeah.
We'll keep.
Pass turn. Yeah.
Correct your turn.
Okay. I draw. Draw with the library. 2, 4, 6, 8. Thinking. Seven cards in hand. Pass the turn. I sword your pixie. So I go to 17.
Wait, yeah, I go to 22.
Yeah.
You go to 17.
Exactly.
Land for turn.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say pass turn.
Draw. Draw with library. 8 cards in hand. Play a factory. 2, 4, 6, 7. Sorry, I played a strip mine and strip your factory and pass the turn. Seven cards in hand. Yeah, take 2.
Cards.
Red and
Okay.
left. Draw. 2, 4, 6, 7. Draw with library number 8.
This is a complete mirror of the last game.
Yeah.
You're drawing 2 to 1 on either end. It's tough to win.
Pass the turn. 2, 4, 6 cards in hand.
Fine.
Go to 12. Thinking. Cards in hand. 1.
One card.
Yeah, time warp is good. Go to 10.
Sure. 2 cards.
Two, 4, 6, 7. Factory. Pass the turn.
Sure.
7 cards in hand. Upkeep I draw. Draw for the turn. Play planes. 8 cards in hand. I play a Chaos Orb and pass the turn.
Sure.
2, 4, 6, 7 cards in hand. Draw number 8. Draw for the turn. City of Brass. I go to 9. Play a Preacher and pass the turn.
Swords or Preacher.
That's okay. Gain a life. Go to 10.
Your turn.
Upkeep. Draw for the turn. Play Blue Mox. 2, 4, 6, 8 cards. Play Scrubland. Demonic. Demonic is okay, I guess.
That's good.
Okay. Cards in hand. 4. Try. Take 2 damage, go to 8, try to Mind Twist you for 4. Wow. And it's your turn.
You have 7 cards, right?
6 cards.
Almost, this I think was the last chance. Well, you probably have a counter anyway. I'll disenchant your chaos orb. Almost,
Crack Lotus, counter disenchant, Chaos Orb your lion.
Okay. I think I can scoop at this point. I have no permanents and you have a working library, right? You have 6.
No, I have 5 cards in hand.
Okay, let's play it out in a little bit more. Your turn.
I mean, you can scoop, but at the moment I just have. Probably I'm playing it a little bit wrong here. Wait a second, like this. Play a book and attack you for 2, and pass the turn. Arnhem is good.
Your turn.
6 cards in hand. I sword the Ernie.
Okay.
And pass the turn.
Your turn.
End of turn, draw a card. Draw for the turn, and now the library is active again. Draw. Play Tundra and attack you for 4. And pass the turn.
Let's see you win.
Draw with library, draw for the turn. Play factory, play soldering with the factory. And attack for 4. Attack for 4.
16.
7 cards in hand, pass the turn.
Your turn. You know what? Your turn.
My turn?
Turn.
End of turn, draw a card. Draw for the turn. Play a land. 2, 4, 6, 8 cards in hand. I attack you for 4.
Oh, time to disenchant one of them.
I try to counterspell that.
Okay, I'm gonna take 4 or 5.
5.
11.
And I draw for the turn. I draw with library, sorry. 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 cards in hand. I discard a island and pass the turn.
It is your turn.
Untap, upkeep, I draw for the turn. Play a land and attack you for 6.
5.
Pass the turn. Oh wait a second, need to discard a book.
Okay, let's see it to the end. Your turn.
Draw with the book. Draw for the turn. Play a Felvar Stone with library and wait a second, with Mox and Plains, and then attack you for 6 again.
I'll disenchant 1. Okay.
Give me a second, I counterspell that.
That's a good game.
At least once the deck worked with library turn 1.
Oh yeah, I mean, but it was the opposite the game before. It's like if you have a working library the whole game, you're not going to lose. If I have a working library,
yeah, probably. I mean, if you're not getting rid of it fast, it's game over.
The reason I say I think I can scoop it now is, I mean, we all have so much experience playing against the deck. You basically know you don't have a hand, and
exactly,
your opponent
and
he has whole hand, working library, or with a jam day tome or 2. You're not winning that from that position.
The thing is, there are these corner cases where you still can win. On a tournament, I would not scoop, but when we're playing for fun, it's like not worth it. I'm totally with you. The problem is he has, like, let's say, he's drawing an ancestral every round, so maybe you can look if you can draw out of that or find a strip mine to at least destroy the library for like 2 turns, but then he drew so many cards. Not worth it.
Yeah, not worth it, but it's okay. We saw the game to the end, which was good. I will be on the play. Should we do one more? How are we doing on time? One more or 2 more games?
I have no idea how we're doing on time. I think we can still play at least one more game. No,
so
wait.
This and one more, or just this?
Yeah, this, and then we go to the sideboard tech, because the last game took a little bit longer than expected.
All right, one more game.
Yeah.
1, 2, or 3?
None of those. Can you pick another deck?
How about this?
Okay, then 5. That feels way better.
This feels better than this? Okay, we'll choose pile 3.
Pile 3?
Pile 3 for you too. All right, let's see how the battle of pile 3s do. 2,
4, 5, 6.
Oh, wow. Look at all this information. I know you have a Felvar Stone.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. I mean, wow. Did I say wow? I mean, wow. Yeah, I try.
All right, I have no lands, but I have to try.
Okay. Yep. Also good.
Oh, give me some lands. Don't do that to me. 1, 2, 3. All right, we'll play it land.
Perfect.
I have still 2 blue floating.
Yeah. Sure.
Your turn.
Thinking. Landmarks. Felvar pass the turn.
I'm so surprised you had a Felwar Stone.
Yeah. Where did this one come from?
Right?
Yeah, 16. Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Demonic Tutor.
Okay.
Cards in hand.
5 cards.
5 cards. Okay. I strip your Savannah. In response, I will put white mana in my pool with the Felvar Stone. And then we balance around.
And how many cards do you have?
I have 3.
One second.
Yeah. Yeah, your turn.
That's right.
Sorry. Yeah.
Your turn.
Nice.
There's some good brutal balances.
Pass turn.
Turn.
Yay! Found a land first. Ha ha ha! Pass turn.
Turn.
Lol. Cards in hand.
6.
Pass turn. Counter spell.
It's your turn.
Pass the turn. Can you please play a land? My Felvar Stone is so useless, really.
Well,
You saw it and you kept the no-lander, right? I know it.
Your turn. 6 cards.
Yeah! Wham bam! Pass the turn. Mana drain.
Okay, your turn.
2 colorless floating. Cards in hand? 4? 5?
6.
Mind twist you for 5.
I'll scoop. All right. Sideboard tech, or you want to do that? Was really.
Come on, we play another round.
Yeah,
so if people want to see a sideboard tech on this video, they need to stay longer.
Yeah, and besides, I wasn't hate to end on a non-game like that.
But to be fair, keeping this hand without a land was kind of greedy.
With a Lotus Ancestral, you wouldn't do that?
No, the problem is so often these hands are traps. That if your opponent has a Chaos Orb or a Strip Mine, you're out. I mean, yeah, of course you're not playing around one-offs, but still, it's so shaky. You know what I mean?
I'm not a good enough player to mull that. I can't do it.
You were hooked. Lotus
I see library, and like, I know sometimes I'll keep it just for library and I'll get caught, but like, I just won't mull those hands. All right, pile 2.
Pile number 1.
All right.
5, 7. Oh, Lord.
this is a mulligan.
I keep.
Way to cast like that. One, two, three.
Wait, I need to use my brain power to say 2.
You want to give me a good one, right? Because this
Yeah,
one might be good.
exactly. I want to give you a good one. Pile number 2. This is an amazing pile. I swear.
Sure? I'll give you a chance to change. Are you sure you want pile 2?
Yes, never change.
All right, now you're locked in.
I mean, isn't there a mathematical whatsoever? They talked about it in the poker film 21 or so, where he said you always need to change if he removes one gate.
And this is so sad. Yeah, it's you gave me a really bad one. Can't cast anything. On the play library is mulling is nothing. All right, you go to 5. It's no choice.
I'm sorry.
We'll see what happens this time. One, two, three.
Number 1.
All right. All right, let's see what happens. I am not going to work cards, I don't think. Oh, man. I might have to go to 4. Oof.
I found your pattern again.
I'm gonna go to 4. I mean, I can't cast this whole hand. It is not castable. Just curious.
This time you choose your pile.
I choose my pile.
Yeah. You choose your destiny.
All right.
There's actually, with the word destiny, there's a kind of fun story.
Okay, well, which pile? So you want me to choose? So I guess I'll go with pile 1. And boy, I hope it has either balance or Mind Twister loaded.
Yeah.
All right, let's get lucky. Get the 4 cards. Oh, I did not get lucky, but I do not have a choice. Your return 1 card.
Lol.
That's good. My only land.
At least I draw 1 card. 2, 4, 6, 8. Go to 6. Pass the turn. 6 cards in hand. Yep, that's a good one.
We'll take out your. Yep. And not attack. Your turn.
Play my own factory and pass the turn.
Lock was under your pearl?
Sapphire, sorry. The good one.
All right, your turn.
Another plains, play a Chaos Orb, and take out your factory. Pass the turn.
All right, give me.
Don't give him anything.
Your
Okay,
turn.
lion is good. Factory.
Hmm?
Attack.
17.
Pass the turn.
Not what I wanted. Your turn.
Tundra. Attack. Okay, your turn.
Not good. Your turn.
Go. Pixie, give me a second. I try. Yeah, I counterspell it.
Your turn.
Nice. Pass the turn. Another one. Yes.
Your turn.
My turn?
That's right, no cards.
Sorry. Play a City of Brass and. I mean. I try to control magic your Pixie. And pass the turn. No, actually, I attack with my factory. Sorry.
A block.
Okay. Then I still have the Pixie. Yeah.
Card, your turn.
Swat the Urnum. Attack with the Pixie.
All right, I'll gain 2.
Pass the turn.
Swords the pixie.
Okay. This one is in the
Good,
grid.
22.
Yeah, I get 2.
No card, your turn.
Factory. Pass the turn.
Your turn.
Pass the turn. Oh, no. Attack. Shields are open. Pass the turn.
Your turn.
Mind twist you for 1. Attack.
15.
And play Preacher. Pass the turn. You need to live, Preacher.
Your turn.
Okay. This is good. Attack.
15.
Pass the turn. Red Blast.
That was my shot for this game, I think. Your turn.
Draw. Play a Felvar Stone with the 2 planes and attack for 3.
Yep.
Pass the turn.
Your turn.
Attack. Oh, sorry. We're still in attackers. Play a Mox. Pass the turn.
Your turn.
Attack.
So I'm either giving you a factor or I'm taking 2 damage.
Okay.
So just to take 2 damage.
Pass the turn.
Doesn't help. Preachers shut these up, guys off. Your turn.
Factory. Pass the turn.
Okay. All right, sideboard tech.
Sideboard tech.
Yeah, that was gonna be a rough one from 4 cards.
Yeah, but you did well. You found the answers for the library. I thought the game was over faster, way faster.
Yeah, I did the best I could from where I was. This was a fun episode. A lot of good games.
That's true. Okay, my boarding was actually pretty fast. I boarded out 4 Disenchants and a Deccan, because I think the Deccan is too slow in that matchup. 6 mana is just uncastable. The 4 Disenchants are only good against your factories, and I think I have better ways to deal with it. I bought it into Red Blast to counter mana efficient your power cards and your dips, because a fast dip is a hard problem for that deck. I bought it in City in a Bottle because I want to disrupt your mana base. I want to destroy your creatures. I mean, it never happened because after boarding I controlled the match pretty well, especially with the mana efficient counters. And with Rasputin I get a super good blocker. So this is why I bought it out at Disenchants and the Deccan to get traded the creatures. I know this is also a 6-drop, but it's easier to cast and blocks better, in my opinion. 2 red Elemental Blast for the creatures, as I said, and the blue power also for the creatures, and Disenchants out. The rest of the card is pretty simple why I didn't bring them in. No red in the deck. I've seen only factories as artifacts. If you would have played Sushis, I would have brought those in for sure. And Nebuchadnezzar is better in the control matchup. Yeah, this is basically it.
So, I mean, what was going to come in for sure, I mean, you have factories and Jam-Day Tomes. I need 2 more Disenchants. And you have creatures that can steal my creatures. So I need ways, and factories, to remove them. So these were going to come in. I needed to be as aggressive as possible. So the 2 cards that are not aggressive, sitting to try to mana drain something is a bad decision. And I don't think regrowth is good. I have to be aggressive. So I would, rather than trying to fish something out of my graveyard, which very well might be a sword or a disenchant, I should just play with a sword or disenchant. I thought 1 pixie can come out because you only have factories. So I think a lion is better to keep in if I was going to take out a creature than a pixie, because I thought 1 more removal was better, because even with taking 1 creature out, that last game I had an Ernie, I ended with an Ernie in my hand. So I didn't want to get stuck with extra creatures in hand and not being able to deal with what's on board. I thought taking out 1 creature, and I thought of pixies. If you had Suchis, I would have taken out a lions instead. The line with the 1-drop I think was better, because I may get an extra 2 damage in by playing it a turn early. And I thought I can go 1 land down. You're not a Blood Moon deck, so I thought taking out the basic planes was fine. It's really, so I thought this is what, I mean, your sideboard, your deck is definitely better post-board than pre-board for sure. But this is the best I could do against what you're doing. You don't play red. You're not artifact heavy. Sleight of Mind isn't needed. You're not playing the cop reds. I could have brought in Concordant Crossroads, but I really didn't want to take out any of the restricted cards. I didn't want to take out another land, and I didn't want to go down another creature. Not in a Abyss deck, and you don't play swamps, so I didn't really need to take this. I could have maybe brought in a 1-of Crossroads, but I didn't really think it was useful, and also I don't want you playing a Preacher or a creature that can automatically steal what I'm doing also too. So it's a double-edged sword. It's just not worth it. But this is, I think, the best plan for what you had across the table.
Yeah.
So this was fun to see. We definitely saw the deck, or the deck light, whatever we call what you're playing, working pretty much like the deck you would think would work post-board. You were able to control, you were able to draw with Jam-Day Tome and Mind Twist the hand, which is what the deck does, which is likes to gain control of the board, likes to draw extra card, wait for the Mind Twist, and your opponent ends up with nothing on board and doesn't end up with a hand, and you still have a draw engine going. That's what the deck likes to do, and we did see that with this list. I think shows that even if you change a few cards of the deck around, and change the win con around, or put a few spicy cards, even a Diamond Valley or a few of the gold cards, it still plays like pretty much like the deck, a slightly worse version of it. But still, when you go from maybe the best or close to the best deck in the format to slightly worse by changing a few cards, it's still wickedly good. You have all the removal, and once you add the blast in, it's a very tough deck to beat for sure post board.
Yeah.
But really fun to see. I'm really glad to get to play Paul DeSilva's more greenish, less whitish version of Good Stuff. I think it's one of the really good and fun decks in the format. Also a very simple deck to play. The deck is, to get really good at it, you do have to practice. This is a much more simple plan. You're playing creatures and you're swinging, and then you're playing all the restricted cards.
Yep.
So it was fun to get this version on as well. So thank you very much for episode 51.
Yes. I actually, to be honest, this feels like the deck, but it plays not so similar because you have something to do. You interact more with your opponent. You're not just slamming the Abyss. I mean, to be fair, if you're playing Rubinia, Soulsinger, and Preachers, it's like the deck. It's like playing Abyss in the deck, to be fair.
Well, the last point I'll make about this is your deck feels, even though the changes you made, it will still feel very much like the deck when you're playing against a creature-based strategy.
Yeah.
Because you're controlling the board.
To be honest,
with control magics and Rubinia and Preachers, and against a creature-based strategy, you don't have dead cards, and it's very controlling, and it should work. Now, if I was playing World Dreams or some combo deck where I don't have creatures in, your deck is going to be significantly worse pre-board. And that's the disadvantage of playing this over a standard the deck.
And to be honest, if I would play this deck on a tournament, I would cut the 2 control magics in the main board because they are super clunky. They do not feel good against white. I mean, they're super crazy against ATOC lists because they can't get rid of those in the main board, but they also can't get rid of Rubinia Soulsinger with a counterspell up. I would rather go for a Red Blast main board and a Felvash Stone with this guy to get the mana base a little bit more consistent, and probably would play one more City of Brass in the main board for to color fix myself that I can cast a Red Elemental Blast. Yeah.
I think it would be a good change. This deck against a non-creature based deck for the main, you would see the maximum difference between playing this and just straight the deck list.
Yeah.
But in this matchup, I think it did better because all those cards are not just live, but they can completely single Preacher can completely shut me down, or I can't play my Arabian cards, which is what I'm trying to do. And that can buy you enough time to do what you need to do with the deck cards. Mitja, episode 51 was a lot of fun. Thank you very much for the episode.
Thank you very much.
I look forward to episode 52. I hope everyone enjoyed it. And we promise to have 2 brand new decks we haven't played in an episode when the Brewers Tavern is calling again next time.
Yeah, and if you liked what you've seen so far, hit the like and the subscribe button. We would appreciate that. And see you next time. Bye-bye.
That's for everyone.